Okay, today we're going to go over parallel processing. I love parallel processing because it will increase the weight of the sound, it'll make it groove more, it will help fix tonal balance issues, and it seems to help other tracks fall into place. And you can get really, really far in a mix with parallel processing and not have a lot of plugins. Here's how it sounds with the parallel processing.
If my mother hadn't been strong, we would have drowned that same day. If my mother hadn't been strong, we would have drowned that same day. Even when the sun go down, worries and troubles all the next day.
All right, so you can hear that the mix is really starting to come together. How did I get there so quickly? Part of it was because of parallel processing. So what I'm going to do now is going to play the song again, and I'm going to turn these 3 buses on and off, and you can hear the difference.
If my mother hadn't been strong, we would have drowned that same day.
That's off.
Drown that same day.
That's back on.
Even when the sun go down, worries and troubles all.
It seems like the mix sits a lot more, it seems like the vocals sit a lot more forward and just like sit in the mix real nice, like I love it. All right, so yeah, listen to the vocal and you can hear how there's like a better tonal balance once the parallel processing is put in. It's subtle, but you'll hear it. You'll hear it lock in.
If my mother hadn't been strong,
this is without.
We would have drowned that same day.
With.
If my mother hadn't been strong, we would have drowned that same day.
Doesn't the vocal now feel like it's part of the song and not just like it's on top of it? Without?
If my mother hadn't been strong, we would have drowned that same day.
Now with.
If my mother hadn't been strong, we would have drowned that same day.
So for the drums, you can definitely, that's probably the biggest change. Listen to the drums.
If my mother hadn't been strong,
without.
We would have drowned that same day. If my mother hadn't been strong, we would have drowned that same day.
All right, so yeah, you can definitely hear that the drums get bigger, more forward. You can hear the quieter parts easier, and that's kind of the cool thing about parallel processing. And just to let you know that I have it pulled down pretty far. I can even go down maybe a little further with it. I have it up a little more just for demonstration purposes.
If my mother hadn't been strong, we would have drowned that same day.
That's a little bit more normal. So what's going on there? A compressor that's smashing it.
If my mother hadn't been strong,
with a lot of makeup gain.
That same day.
And I have it ignoring the bottom, like the kick and everything. Oh, by the way, yes, everything is being sent. Okay, what is being sent to it? Pretty much from room to kick is being sent post fader, so I get an exact copy to that bus and getting smashed, and then I tweak the recovery and attack if your compressor has that. This one's set up a little differently out of solo. That's probably the biggest thing I can tell you when you're doing parallel processing is you can use solo to kind of get going, but as far as setting levels and as far as figuring out what your attack times and release times and ratios and whatever, you really want to do it out of solo because it makes a huge difference. Yeah, so be aware of that. That's my biggest piece of advice. If you don't learn anything from today's video, just remember that try to not work in solo when you're using parallel processing. Try not to. Listen to the guitars, because no one's going to listen to it in solo in the first place, right?
If my mother hadn't been strong, we would have drowned that same day.
It just feels like it got fuller, and that's what I felt like the song needed. Like, these guitars should be full and dense, and they just didn't feel that way. So I used that, and then the song felt like it came together. And this would probably be where I would take a break, and then come back and make adjustments, listen to it on a couple different devices to make sure we sound good. All right, so what are our takeaways from parallel processing is, one, it's really good at increasing the musicality and bringing things forward to the edge of the speaker. It can help with tonal balance issues. It can help with dynamic issues. One thing to remember when you're setting your settings, to not do it while in solo. Try to do it while everything is playing. As you heard, one thing will affect another. The vocals, they changed, and they weren't being processed by those parallel buses, but they did affect it. Be aware of that. So if you'd like me to do your parallel processing, I am for hire, of course, at creakyfloorstudio@gmail.com, or you can just go to my website. There's also a box where you can request some information at creakyfloorstudio.com. Find me on Facebook. My name is Adam Taylor. Anyhow, if you have questions, please leave them in the comments, email me, or if you want to see a video of me doing something else, I'd love to hear from you. And we'll see you next week.